really, because their wedding anniversary is coming up before one. And the Finks are 61 years. Ooh. The Gallaghers, 20 years. The Hillers, y'all ready for this? 69. Oh. This year is year 70, and so that's awesome. The Minces are 46. Later this year, 47. The Wrinkles, 53, and so that's awesome. All of these numbers are awesome. And the Simses have already celebrated their anniversary this year because it was in January. So 28 years for the Simses. And if you are a numbers person and you're interested, and I did this kind of for fun, if you add up all those years, 294 years. Almost 300 years. Maybe you're going, oh my gosh, I don't really want to know that. But at the same time, if you think about it, 300 years of life experiences and wisdom and knowledge, knowing more now today than I'm sure you thought you ever would know and experience in your lifetime. And so, and very precious. I regard as kind of a holy number that we add up all of those years that you all have been together. And probably even time before that, before your actual wedding day, that we could add that time in as well. And so, on those respective days, and can you all hear me okay? All right. On those respective days, each of you made a commitment to your partner, a covenant between the two of you and God, that you would love and honor that partner for as long as you both would live. Time has passed, hasn't it? You might think it's taken forever to get to this point in your lives, but if you're like me, life seems, at least this point in my life, I blink and time goes by so quickly. And so job moves, children perhaps for some of you, if not all of you, new places that you've lived over the course of those lives. And so it's been joys and sorrows, good times and bad times, and you have weathered every bit of it with God's help, and that has led you to today. And so, even though the world has not always been kind, God has been steadfast, and God has been there with you. And I meant to share a moment ago that for the Wrinkles, this is an especially special day because this was the day that they got engaged. And so when I called them and Mr. Wrinkle told me that, I thought, you know, we were deciding, should we do the service today or tomorrow? And after some discussion, we said, well, let's do it on Thursday. I think Thursday would be a good day. And so I think there was a reason that we came to Thursday. Perhaps for them. Perhaps for them. And so God has protected you. God has strengthened you on your life's journey as a married couple. And sometimes God places thoughts in my mind. And the thought he placed in my mind as I was thinking about this afternoon is, if you think of all of the billions, not millions, but billions of people in the world, you two found each other. Out of all of the possibilities, the combinations that could have been, and the circumstances that led you to find one another, you did. And I think that's very powerful when we think about that. How you are, in all of these years, you now are one person. At least from a Christian perspective, because when two people get married, they become one, don't they? And so I pray that your lives continue, all those 294 years, continue to be an inspiration. I know that for those of you that I know, and those of you that I hope to get to know, the rest of you, to get to know better, you all have been an inspiration to me. And I know, if it's been for me, that you have been an inspiration for other people as well. And so I pray for many, many more years that your family, friends, and loved ones will benefit from your wisdom and your guidance in their lives. And so, I'm going to invite you, I think some of you already are the artisans or jump ahead of me, that you take a moment and hold one another's hands. Some of you are already doing that. And I want you to take a moment and look at those hands. Look at the hands of the people that you're holding. And recognize that these hands have been through an awful lot together. That they do not look the same today as they did 20, 30, 70 years ago. That they are different. Maybe they're like my hands. There are a few more spots on them. Maybe a wrinkle here or there. Maybe they don't feel quite as strong as they did before. Maybe arthritis is there. But I think that they also are tougher in a way because God has used them to guide each of you through life. Think of all of the experiences that you have had, that your hands have had in your life. And so I pray that God continues to use your hands. Use them to His glory as you have been, that will continue on in your lives. When you were married, you each took a ring and you placed it on your respective partner's finger. And the ring is significant. Why? It doesn't have a beginning or an end, doesn't it? It's continual. And I believe that your love is continual as well. That it does not have an end. That God's love for us has no end. And that love will continue between the two of you and God for all of eternity. We know that your love for one another continues to hold true because it's such a wonderful turnout today. That all of you made the decision to come and be part of this service. It is a testament to the strength and the longevity of your marriage. Ecclesiastes 4:12, the first part of that says, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. And in a moment, you'll see why I gave you those cords. When a man takes a wife before God, again, there's that covenant that is made, that two become one before God. And so, as a symbol of tying the knot, I'm going to have you tie a knot in those cords in a little bit. And so, we come now to the time of vows. And so, I will call each couple forward, and you all will stand here in front of me and face one another. And I think I'm going to take my mask off for this part, and I invite you all to do that as well. When I read these questions together, the two of you will say, we will. So I'm not going to have you do them separately. Just collectively, you'll say, we will. Okay? And so I invite Barnabas to come. Keep that with you. Yes, if you want to maybe set the flowers down, that might be a little easier. But you'll bring the cord with you. And just stand in front of me and face one another. And hold hands if you would like. That's perfect. And so, Don and Ann, will you continue to be one another's faithful partner in life? And will you continue to be each other's constant friend and one true love?
We will.
Will you promise to continue to love one another without reservation? And will you both continue to stand by one another in sickness and in health, in plenty and in want?
We will. Oh, we will.
We will. Will you both continue to stand together in times of joy and sorrow? And will you continue to share the burdens of each other so that your spirits may grow in this union?
We will.
Will you both continue to be open and honest with each other all the rest of your days? And will you continue to dream together and pray that this marriage remains strong in God?
We will.
And finally, will you both continue to honor one another? And will you both seek to cherish and strengthen that honor?
We will.
And so now I'm going to invite you to do this. Take your partner's opposite hand, and I'm going to take this for a moment, and hold his opposite hand. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, and we're going to drape it around your hands. Like this. And then as you let go of her hand, Dawn, you're going to take this string in your hand. And then Ian, you're going to take the other end. Okay, the opposite end. And then pull your hands apart. And if I did this right, just slide them out of the cord. And out of there. And I almost had it right. All week my husband's been telling me, you can't do it on just the two of us, you've got to do it on real people. Okay, so one more time. Hold his hand and let go of this. So like this. And then slowly release your hands. And Dawn, you take this one. This end right here. And you're going to take this one in this hand. Okay? And then back your hands out of this. And then, ta-da, and then pull it tighter. Feel free to pull it tight. Now you have officially tied the knot. See? Okay. Thank you. You both can sit down. All right, I need